Sairam students, today's English class is a continuation of our last class, wherein we had begun with a new lesson, the Sermon at Banaras. In our last class, we read about Gautam Buddha and Kisa Gautami. Gautam Buddha was initially a prince, and his name was Siddhartha. He was shielded from the problems of the world. But one day, when he stepped out for hunting, he came across an old man, a sick man, a monk, and a beggar. After which, he decided to give up his princehood. He wandered for many years, and finally, he sat down under a peepal tree and promised to stay there until he seeked enlightenment. He was also, after which he was called as Gautam Buddha. Then in the city of Banaras, he delivered his first sermon, which spoke about Kisa Gautami. Now this lady, she had only one son who passed away. She was running to every house asking for a medicine which could help bring life to her son. Everybody thought that this girl has lost her senses. How come someone who is dead can be alive again? Then one person said that why don't you go and meet the Sakya Muni or Gautam Buddha? She immediately rushed to see him, and on meeting him she said, "Please give me a medicine that could bring back my son." He said, "Okay, first you get me a handful of mustard seeds." She readily agreed to it. But then there was a catch to this. He said, "Bring it from a house where that house has not witnessed, or the people have not witnessed death. Nobody in the family has died." Hearing this, she goes in search of a house or a family wherein she gets handful of mustard seeds. So let's read and understand what happens with Kisa Gautami. So just keep a book and a pen handy so that you can write down the important points and the important hard works. Poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, "Here is mustard seed. Take it." But when she asked, "Did a son or daughter, a father or a mother die in your family?" So she went from house to house asking for mustard seeds. People felt really bad for her. Pitied us, felt sorry for her misfortune. Okay, they said, "Okay, here you can take mustard seeds." But when she asked them, did a son, daughter, father, or the mother die in this family? Let's see what reply she got. They answered, "They is who? The people from whom she was asking for mustard seeds." They answered, "Alas, the living are few, but the dead are many. Do not remind us of our deepest grief." And there was no house but some beloved had died in it. So she said when she went in search of mustard seeds, and when she got them, on inquiring whether anybody had passed away, she got an answer that there are living are very few and dead are many. And they also said, please don't remind us of our deepest grief. Please, by asking this question, you're reminding us of all the people who have died. Don't do that. So there was no house where the beloved one had not passed away. Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless and sat down at the wayside, watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and were extinguished again. At last, the darkness of night reigned everywhere, and she considered the fate of men, that their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. She became weary, she was tired and hopeless, and sat down at the wayside. She understood, okay, she didn't see any hope in getting any mustard seeds from a house, where nobody had passed away. Tired, she sat down at the wayside. Wayside is the roadside, watching the lights of the city as they flickered up. Flickered is they shone unsteadily. Sometimes they shone brightly, sometimes, they were very dim. And finally, they extinguished. There was complete darkness. And this darkness was everywhere. It reigned everywhere, means it ruled everywhere. The entire city was dark. And she considered, that is how she related to the fate of a person, fate of a man. And what did she say? That even their lives flicker up and finally they extinguish. Finally, everybody has to die. This she realized then. And she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief? Death is common to all. Yet, in this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness. So she just thought to herself, how selfish I was. In my grief, how, the way I was behaving, I was running from one house to another, asking for medicine. But I didn't realize that death is common to all. And that is when she understood that yes, the one who has come to life has to die as well. And then she says, yet in this valley of desolation is the area which is filled with sorrow. There is a path that leads him to immortality. Immortality is able to live forever, the ability to live forever. And who can live forever? Is the one who has surrendered all selfishness. Okay, the people who give up, who are not selfish, who give up selfishness, okay, that they can go on the path of immortality. The Buddha said, the lives of mortals in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain. For there is not any means by which those who have been born can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals, when born, are always in danger of death. So what did Buddha say? He said, life of mortals. Who are mortals? Those who are bound to die. In this world is troubled, okay, and brief and combined with pain. So everybody has some or the other form of problem. Okay, we come here for a very short span of time, and all of us suffer some or the other pain. And he says that by no means, by any means, we, the ones who are born cannot avoid dying. If we have come into this world, we definitely have to leave this world and go one day. And after old age, there is death. It's not that the cycle reverses, it goes behind. From old age, again we come to adulthood and then we go to childhood. No. After old age, there is death. And we cannot avoid that. And that is the nature of living beings. And then he also gives an example, as ripe fruits are always in danger of falling. They fall first from the tree. So, mortals, when born, they are always in danger of death. So, that's the reality of life. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is the life of mortals. Both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into the power of death. All are subject to death. Then he says, like earthen vessels, when the potter makes them, okay, they are bound to break when we use them. It's not that you can keep them lifetime. At some point or the other, even they break. So even so is the life of mortals. Whether you are young, you're an adult, you're aged, whether you are an intelligent person or you are a fool, we all fall into the power of death. We have to die someday or the other. And we all are subject to death. Of those who overcome by death, depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen their relations. Mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to slaughter. Of those who overcome by death, depart from life, a father, yes, can a father save his son from death? No. Can a kinsman, who is a kinsman? A man who is one of a person's blood relation. Can a brother save a sister's life or vice versa? Not possible. Okay, it's difficult to save our relatives. Why? Because yes, if we have come into this world, death is, we are bound to die. And then he says, while relatives are looking on and lamenting is when they are expressing their grief about something. What happens is, one by one, people die. And he has compared to what? Compared to the life of an ox that is led to the slaughter. So people keep lamenting, and one by one mortals are carried off. Like what? Like ox that is led to slaughter. So the world is afflicted with death and decay. Therefore the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. Not from weeping nor from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. Okay, so this world, the world that we are living in, it is affected with suffering, disease, okay, or pain. Okay, yes, all of us, we have some of the other problems. Okay, so this world is afflicted with death and decay. Decay is rot. And therefore the wise do not grieve. Yes, it's difficult when someone passes away, it's difficult. But we have to accept the fact. Okay, knowing the terms of the world. The wise person understands the terms of the world. And what is that? That one who comes has to leave. Not from reaping or grieving will anyone obtain peace. Do you feel that, just by crying or just by, just by lamenting, can you obtain peace of mind? Is it possible? No. On the contrary, what will happen? His pain will increase and his body is going to suffer. The more you cry, the more your body is going to suffer. Your mind cannot be at peace. He will make himself sick and pale. Who is this? He is talking about the one who grieves. Yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. So he says, even if you keep crying, okay, what will happen? First of all, you will make yourself sick and pale. And do you think you can save a person just by lamentation, just by lamenting about his or her death? No. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complain and grief. So one who wants to seek peace, okay, remove lamentation, complain and grief from your life. Remove that arrow from your life. He who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind. He who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and be blessed. So he says, the one who has drawn out the arrow, he will become composed. What is composed? Having one's feeling and expression under control. And that is how you can obtain peace of mind. Okay, you can overcome all sorrows and you can be free from all sorrows and you can be blessed. So we should accept the reality of life. I know, students, it's very easy to say and very difficult to do. So that's it with the lesson, students. Quickly we'll just go through the value points of this lesson. Jot them down, students, if you wish to. So that's it for the day, students. We are done with the lesson, the sermon at Banaras. There's another link with this video link. Click on it and answer the set of questions. We'll catch up soon. Till then, take care of yourselves. Sai Ram and bye-bye.